Nomad is definitely best for solo players that are looking for survivability over damage. Being able to take on 1v1s and 2v1s without any problem is something that's super important for anyone that is alone in Dark Zone. Alright, so here's the build. Firearms is at 6,300, stamina is at 6,700, and electronic, once again, who cares about electronics? I've done a lot of testing with my toughness being way higher and it being way lower, and I feel like around 450 to 500k toughness is the perfect for this. This way you don't feel too squishy, you don't feel too tanky, and you still do a decent amount of damage. My primary weapon that I use with this build is the assault rifle. The main reason why I use the assault rifle instead of the house, for example, is because this is my PvP build and PvE build. If you're not planning on using Nomad for PvE, I'd probably recommend you to use the house for PvP. Or if you have two different sets of Nomad, one for PvP, one for PvE, obviously use the SMG, the house for PvP, and the Lightweight M4 for PvE is what I would recommend. If you don't have the house, don't worry too much about it. The Lightweight M4 gets the job done. It's really good. I just love SMGs, to be honest with you. So it hurts that I cannot use it with this build. I'll see if I can farm some more to get more Nomad pieces, but for now, Lightweight M4 is where it's at. And the talents on my Lightweight M4, let's start off with Unforgiving. And Unforgiving is probably one of the best talents together with Nomad. Since you're a bit cocky, you basically have two lives when engaging in a fight, meaning you can lose those health bars without worrying. My second talent here is Responsive, and Responsive is one of those talents that I just feel like you can't go wrong choosing. It's really good, guys. Definitely recommend it to have it on this weapon. And my third talent here is Vicious. Vicious is really good with Nomad. Critical hit chance is increased by 10% while having more than 2 segments of health. And you are going to have more than 2 segments of health a lot of the times when using Nomad, which makes it really good. And the reason why I chose it over, for example, Deadly on this build is because our critical hit chance is not the highest when not using an SMG. So I think Vicious is better than having Deadly. But you could, if you have Deadly in your weapon already, don't worry too much about it. I would just rather have Vicious. Most of my weapons pretty much all into critical hit damage as the main stats. Then we have headshot damage, critical hit chance on our scope, small grip, critical hit damage, reload speed, optimal range. On our muzzle here, critical hit damage, critical hit chance, and headshot damage. Our extended magazine is the normal one, 118, 120, whatever, critical hit chance, and rate of fire. Chest piece here rolled into stamina. We have health on it, we have skill haste, and we have ammo capacity. I would recommend having at least ammo capacity on either your backpack or your chest piece, otherwise you're gonna run out of ammo really quickly. Our mods on this thing is critically chance, and they are into firearms. Taking a look at the mask here is rolled into firearms, we have critically chance and we have burn resistance. Our mod on this thing is on to health. Knee pads here rolled into stamina, they have health, they have bleed resistance, shock resistance, and burn resistance. All three of these are really good to have, but the most important one is to have shock resistance. So always try and have shock resistance on your knee pads. Mods, critical hit chance on firearms, and we also have a pulse critical hit chance on this. The reason why I went with pulse critical hit chance instead of self-heal is because we are running a pulse, and I would rather have the pulse critical hit chance instead of our self-healing, because we are running Nomad and we're basically a tank anyway. Backpack here rolled into stamina, we have critical hit damage, and the reason why I went with critical hit damage instead of health is because we have reached our goal of having 500k toughness and I didn't want to go anywhere above that. So here are my gloves, they rolled into firearms, they have assault rifle damage, critical hit chance, and critical hit damage. You could potentially switch out assault rifle damage for SMG damage if you have the house to go with it. Holster, nothing weird. Main stats, pretty high. We have critical hit chance as well. Max health, 347,000. Armor, 30.96%. When I optimize my gear, my armor will be higher, but armor doesn't play a huge role in 1.8, so don't worry too much about that. Bleed resistance, 31%. Burn resistance, 60%. And shock resistance, 31%. My skills here, I am running with the concealed pulse, and I also have the immunizer and the green tea. Immunizer is really important when running around in Dark Zone. Especially since half the time you're shooting a turret, it does no damage to it whatsoever. And you can blow it up in case you need that extra health that it gives you. Taking a look at the talents here, I have Adrenaline to counter the Predator, Critical Hit Save, Strike Back, and one is None. So that is it for this build, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. It's really strong, especially if you're a solo player in Dark Zone. Now you can survive hopefully a little bit longer. And peace, guys.
Zabił ma. Toin on. Toi on.
No, se on tuolla.
Pikku, pakko tätä on.